What? Some Ordinary Gamers Mutahar got cancelled for sharing a 720p rectangular image. What's up with that? YouTuber gets cancelled. Asmongold TV.
Did you see Mutahar's cancellation video? I got canceled over this video.
How did you get cancelled?
Yeah, I saw this.
What happened?
Basically, Mutahar made a video exposing Keffals for being bad. I didn't watch it. Keffals is a trans female, originally a male. And so Mutahar had art done of Keffals. This was the picture.
It's like, this is one of the things with the LGBTQ plus thing. I'm all about people changing their gender if they wanna, but also gender is like one of the least important things to you in your life, right? Like in most cases, right? But the world is rich with things to be and become and do. So anyway, just don't tell people that they're gonna lose their kids over misgendering. That's fucking stupid. Anyway.
Sure, people said it was transphobic and they were mad about it. Like, this is my opinion about it. There were a bunch of things in that video. Nobody's even talking about the video. Like, if you have a 1 hour video of somebody doing a bunch of bad stuff, and you get hung up about the picture of the person, that, like, really, like, this is one problem that I think people have.
I mean, it's a 1 hour video, right? And the person knows that it's not gonna be a good look to look at the video, right?
Have on Twitter, and this is what people have, is like, Mutahar, like, what has he done that's like about hating trans people? Like, what is he? Because I haven't heard of anything that he did like that. He doesn't make negative videos about them. He doesn't do any of this shit. And so, changing the topic.
I could believe it.
But yeah, they're changing the topic. They're just looking for some way that, like, he's actually wrong. Guess the thumbnail takes 0 seconds of watching a video. Yeah, this and welcome to my fucking life. Somebody gets mad at the thumbnail of a video or the first 3 seconds of it, and nobody watches the video. There's a whole discourse about the video that nobody watched, and everybody's getting mad about it. The reason, this is what you have to understand, is that on Twitter, everybody is a fucking idiot. Like, everybody is dumb as fuck.
No, they're just captured audience. Don't worry about it. I mean, do worry about it, but I don't like when people call people idiots. I have this tendency too, I want to call it that, but people are really smart in the sense that they can believe all kinds of delusions.
On Twitter. So you can never convince stupid people that they're wrong, and you will only be stupid in the process of doing so. You will become the stupid one. But
yeah, I would just, when Asmon says stupid, I would just replace it with delusional, personally. With the caveat that being delusional is most of the time not a problem, right? Like, it can be highly functional to make money and stuff, and so it's really complicated anyway. But it's not idiocy. I just think it's an underestimation of people's capacity. Anyway.
People interpreting in the most negative tunnel possible. Yeah.
They don't have to be. It really just depends on how you work with them. So as you work with them to make the world a better place, they will actually run into their own delusions in a way that they will have to wrestle with and maybe become less delusional. Like, it's really not your job to make people less delusional directly, I think. But by working together, well, you make people encounter the reality that is not aligned with their delusion, right? And most people can handle that, right?
The thing is, like, I don't think anybody should take Twitter seriously at all. They're not even people that are on that website. They're just like stupid animals that don't even know how to think. I'll watch the first 5 minutes of this. I don't want to watch the whole thing. Oh, what is this here?
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar. I don't know if I'm debating around the idea of Asmongolding the title. Ooh.
Hey, it worked, by the way. Hey.
I've been canceled. But to be real with you, ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to do a little bit of a debrief on one of the more controversial videos I uploaded in my entire career on this channel. Now,
it's not a controversial video. It's a controversial thumbnail.
Oh.
No, 5 days ago I uploaded a video talking about...
I still can't get over the part where it's about the thumbnail. What is going on?
An internet person known as Keffals, where I looked into their...
Okay, you got mad over a cartoony-fied picture. I mean, it does look a little gross, sure, but I mean, it's a fair hook, you know? If it was, the whole video was like that, the whole 1 hour, 33 minutes, I would get annoyed, but
history and looked into a lot of the shady history, and it was about an hour and 33 minutes of actual, like, looking into a past,
it's like
gathering all of the receipts and putting it together in a concise video. Something I will say I enjoyed really putting together, okay? I love making long-form videos like that in amongst the daily goofs and the gaffes that we have over here, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, since then, I've uploaded the video, and it's done pretty positively. It's got around, I think, 95.9% likes to dislike, like the ratio itself, which compared to my average of 98% shows that even with the controversy, a grand majority of the people watching on my channel really did enjoy it. And
well, most controversies begin and end on Twitter. Nobody goes from like Twitter to do anything. Like the reason why Twitter controversies are so popular is because they're completely effortless. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. You just type something on there, you get likes, and then that's it. Like, the moment that you have to go to another website...
That's also why I fully discount them as insubstantial.
...site or whatever. Like, for example, like, anytime that there's, like, this crazy thing about me, right? Everybody's talking about me on Twitter. Nobody comes into my chat and says anything. Maybe there's 2 people, right? Maybe 1 person. Because nobody else says anything, because they're fucking... They're lazy.
Types of videos that I like to make.
Like, low-friction interaction on social media. Put the like button there and... You know, it's like, what? What?
Yeah, they're not gonna do
now,
anything.
to understand, I make videos on tons of controversial subjects all the time. And in fact, some of my most favorite videos were videos where I made them on Save the Kids, alongside Coffee Solo, the whole Rubets investigation.
I remember that.
Working on The Completionist with Carl Jobst. And then, of course, doing this. I love covering this kind of stuff because...
Props for doing this kind of investigation stuff, by the way. There's a lot of shady stuff going around, but yeah.
Is looking into these stories and actually making waves, and what I believe is making a difference and informing individuals is something I like doing, okay? Now, since
that's the thing with all of charity stuff is like, yeah, you just you give people an easy way to spend money, and like, nobody asks like, okay, could I just spend the money on a Harvard cancer researcher to solve cancer, or could I put it towards like save the children who have cancer? Well, which one is going to be more effective? Well, probably supporting the Harvard cancer researcher who spent 30 years of his life on actually understanding the root causes, right? Like that's been one of these who wrote a book and stuff. Anyway, just look for that Harvard cancer professor. You know, you spent 30 years on that. Like, you know, you can find like really effective ways to do things. There's plenty good causes that just go super undetected because they're not running a charity, you know? They're not running an organization trying to get your eyeballs. You know, I'm just saying.
Release, there's been some criticism, and none of it surprisingly on the video's content of itself.
Wow. Welcome to the fucking club. What a surprise.
In fact, ever since this video has come out, there's been a small but somewhat vocal minority of people that have come out and labeled me as a transphobic individual. Going as far as...
If I had $1 for every time somebody was called transphobic, having a phobia of the trans people, I would have at least $2.
To label my wife, who is in an interracial relationship with me, a neo-Nazi. In fact, I found out that because of me having an Indian past, I might be a little bit more Aryan than one would expect. Now, I shouldn't have to preface...
This is the reason why we need to have, like, age verification on the internet and on Twitter for, like, social media. Because, like, I guarantee you, if you made it to where only 18-year-olds and above could post on Twitter... none of this would have happened. Like, guaranteed, this shit would not have happened. These are little kids doing this. And, like, the reason why I know it's always little kids is, like, I will go to their profile, and they don't have any pictures of themselves, but they'll have pictures about, like, Steven Universe and, like, Teen Titans. And there'll be, like, a post about, like, Minecraft.
18 is probably good. Like, I think it's probably... It's not gonna happen one way or another, but yeah, maybe it would do something.
Like, bitch, you're fucking 14. Get the fuck off of here. What are you doing? Go play outside.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No. And by the way, I know that there are 30 and 40 and 50-year-olds that are in the mix, but they would have never got traction. Like, they stand on the shoulders of an innumerable amount, a fucking endless army of brain dead 13-year-olds.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was also thinking children might actually go outside more if they couldn't post. They could still read, but they couldn't post, so it would be a lot less attractive as an activity, so that may be a good thing.
The brain dead 13-year-olds, they are the glue that holds everything together.
Should really have to go out and spell this out, but to anybody watching, I think all Nazism, I think all these kind of evil ideologies are bad.
It's bad.
Okay?
Being a Nazi's bad.
Again, here's
the
wildest thing about this situation, okay? To think that I'm going to pander to a group of people that would call me a poo in the loo in any normal capacity is actually brain dead, okay? I have a lot more self-respect than doing that. Now, at the same time, anybody that's hitting at me with maybe, ooh, Muta enjoys a little edgy joke here and there, I come from an old school 4chan era where,
I do too. I think it's fucking funny. You're gonna get mad about it? Good. Fuck you. I think it's funny if you're mad. That's what I think.
Anything goes on certain sites on the internet. So if some of those jokes come out and they may be a little bit crass, it's not coming from a place of hate. It's just because that's the era I'm from. And you know what? Over the last few years, I have genuinely tried to kind of correct myself to be a little more inclusive on this channel, and so to speak.
I've done the opposite. I think that, like, if anybody's going to get mad about what I talk about or what I say fuck them. Like, I'm not going to let somebody else try to go and tell me what I like and what I don't like, what I think, what I don't think. If somebody wants to go and make up some fucking fan fiction about how I'm a Nazi, go ahead. Like, that's fine.
Fair enough. I have my disagreements with some of his takes on the globe, you know, when it comes to the globe, but everyone knows that he's not a geopolitical analyst, right? So it's like, you know, I'm not going to talk about this. Now, I will say I do like me some Michael Hudson. But that's because I really appreciate the economic understanding he also builds on, which is Professor Steve Keen's. Do what you want with that. Like, maybe there's implications, maybe there isn't.
Like, this is the cost of not having mental asylums, right?
Anyways, to go back to like the whole idea of Nazism and transphobia and all that, I think it's actually quite insulting for anybody that would even claim on some of these boards. I remember when Muta used to read those creepypastas. That was in the Paleolithic era, dog. But thank you. But if you're one of those people who are like, I remember when he was on the deep web browsing. Why can't we go back to some of that? Well, it's because
so he gets the same shit that I get.
For 200 episodes, you kind of tap out all the content you can. But if you were an active viewer, you would realize that anytime I came across, Nazi content or anything really evil, actual racist behavior, transphobic behavior, I would sit down and actually make fun of that behavior, okay? I would really actually make fun of evil ideologies like that. Because I think you should make...
I hope Mutahar knows that you're never going to convince these people. Because, like, you cannot make a video and reason a person out of a position they didn't reason themselves into.
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
That's a great point. That I do like Asmongold for it, as he keeps making it.
There's no reason why, like, he is...
Like, if you want to get people out of a delusional mindset, most of the time they'll function normally in society, and if you work together with them to get stuff done, they will run into the contradictions of their mindset on their own, right? Like, just set people up for an adventure, and the delusions will come crashing down one way or another.
Transphobic because there's a picture of somebody that's unflattering. Like, I've seen 50 other videos and pictures that dude drew that are all unflattering.
That's why I like telling people to, if you have a hot take, do something with it. Think about it. Make a vid. And in 5 years' time, you'll be better for it. It's just gonna take 5 years. Deal with it. That's just how life plays.
But this one is somehow special? Get the fuck out of here. It's crazy. You're never going to convince this person or get this person to think that you're not a bad person because they're not thinking that you're a bad person. They feel like you're a bad person. You can make a 2-hour video and disprove every single thing that they say. And then you know what they're going to turn around and do? They're going to say, yeah, but if he wasn't one, he wouldn't feel like he needed to make the 2-hour video. He's hiding something from us because you can never beat. It's a fucking pigeon and chess.
Yeah, that's interesting because I just tell people, like, you got to make those videos, write those essays, and you'll be better for it, Don't just stick to the cheap interactions.
Thing. You can't beat a pigeon on chess because it's just going to get on the board, kick all the pieces over, fly away, shit on your car, and think it won the match.
Yeah.
That's the reason. Lion Ted. That's right.
Yeah, again, you got to get people on their own journey.
And this is, and I learned this. I haven't told this story for a while, so I'll get back. I'll tell it again. So one time I was watching, this is like election 2016, Donald Trump, Republican primary, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and Donald Trump. There's a few other losers, but nobody cares about them. And anyway, Ted Cruz goes to 1v1 a debater, a Trump supporter. And Ted Cruz gets down in the trenches. And this is like some old, like 55-year-old guy, works at like a bait shop in like Florida, some shit like that, right? I got no idea. But anyway, this dude goes and Ted Cruz tries to 1v1 him. And he says, "What do you not like about what I said?" And then this guy explains. He's like, "Well, I don't like that you said this." Ted Cruz systematically dismantles every single thing that this guy says and made him look like the absolute biggest fucking idiot in front of everybody. And the guy goes, "Here he is again. He's doing it right now, boys. It's Lion Ted. See him? He's lying right now. There he is. Lion Ted." Then everybody started chanting around Ted Cruz, "Lion Ted, Lion Ted."
And the crazy thing is that you don't even know what's true here.
And that's what it. And the easy way, and he looked like a fucking idiot. He lost the election. People love that shit. So you can't reason people out of this shit because they're dumb.
Like, so I don't really like that example by Asmongold here because it's like different arena. So you got to choose your methods as the situation demands.
Like you can't explain to a dog why it can't shit on the floor. You gotta train it that way. You can't just sit down and say, listen, Spot, you can't do it.
Anyways,
no, they're not gonna listen. It's a good nickname, exactly. And so I just hope Mutahar understands that.
Fun of ideologies.
I think that, in my opinion, I think that you lose at the moment that you try to justify. You lose whenever you try to prove them wrong.
Yeah, it's just not a place in life, where that makes sense, right? Or in a political setting, right? Politicians fear losing their votes, and so you gotta use any measure that works for that. Right, so it's not about the reasoning when you're in a career politician setting.
Like that, and really let people know how stupid they are. But again, I'm kind of speaking to a group of people that I can never appease, so there's no real reason for me to go down in this regard. But I feel like it's important to mention why I am not any form of Nazi or transphobe or anything of that nature. I think all of that ideology...
Because like you're 99.9% of the population. You think most people are not?
Yeah.
No, it's super...
It's a good thing to react and point out that, right? Like, when people call you names, you might as well make a bit on pointing out that you're not the names, and what a funny adventure people go on in their heads, as opposed to listening to actual experts and not just intermediaries.
Super fucking rare. Somebody's actually a Nazi. Like, what the fuck?
Evil. And when it comes to my community, I welcome everyone. As long as you're not a criminal, a defrauder, a scammer, an actual like pile of garbage that is committing actual felonies and crimes, then, for the most part, I'm cool with people in my community interacting with each other, and I'll advocate and fight for anybody in my community that just wants to be. But yeah, I feel like hitting these things head on is important. I'd rather address this stuff instead of let it fester. Now, the other bit of controversy for me comes up from using an artist that apparently has been branded as transphobic. Now, the thumbnail for the video had me and the target, in this case Keffels, looking quite sweaty and disheveled and whatnot. Now, the reason for this art was I had simply commissioned an artist whose style I liked. If you look at an image of me that this person drew months ago, it looks like a character...
That looks great.
Yeah.
It's kind of like out of Hotline Miami. You can kind of see it in the conversation box. Thought it was cool. This artist has covered numerous people, and it was just recommended to me by Tom, Willie Mack, and people, that who he worked for. So I had paid him about $100, just a little commission work. The guy's return was pretty quick. We're talking like 24 to 48 hours, and that was pretty much...
So I could go through and watch the whole thing, but like I think that I pretty much like... I mean, does he still have it up now? Yeah, it's still up right now. And this is the thing, people are going to cry about it, they're going to bitch about it, they're going to get mad, but the video is still there. And anybody that gets mad about that and not what's in the video is a fucking moron. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think you should take this shit seriously at all. Yeah, these people are going to have an aneurysm whenever they see Meat Canyon. And I totally support Mutahar. I think that the people that are calling him a Nazi or his girlfriend a Nazi need to be in a padded room. They're just dumb as fuck. There's real...
Hey, I wouldn't go that far. I would say delusion more than idiocy, but again, get people on their own journeys. Anyway, yeah, interesting, weird. Don't give up on other people just because they look dumb on Twitter. But do respect the damage they can do. Yeah, we got anonymity on the internet. It's a good thing. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. I don't really have much else to say. I hope you enjoyed the weird. I will link it below. I hope to see you again. Stay safe out there. Also rate, comment, subscribe, and share with somebody who would argue with you on the merits of what you heard. Just to add some extra friction to your social media interactions. You know, just maybe it's a practice, right? Just think about it. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Meow.